March absolutely turned out to be one of the best reading months that I have ever had in my entire life. So much so that I'm legitimately concerned about my expectations for the rest of 2025, but hey, it is what it is. This month, I read 11 books total, 10 of them fantasy books, one of them a contemporary romance, and I did not rate a single one of them below 4 stars. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenzie Deeren, and I have a passion for fantasy books and rambling incessantly about them. I read a few of my most anticipated books of the entire year this month, and all I'm gonna say is not one of them disappointed. Literally just banger after banger, so let's get right into it. I'm going to be going through these in the order that I read them. So the first book that I read in March was Stalked by Seduction and Shadows by Maggie Sinceri. Say that 5 times fast. I always mess up that title because it feels like marbles in my mouth, even though I actually love the title of that book. Anywho, this is a dark vampire stalker romance. Yes, you heard that right. Like, if you are a dark romance and a fantasy, like, paranormal girly, this has got to be on your TBR. Just trust me. In this book, our FMC Scarlet is a mortal girl living in a small village until her life gets turned upside down when her sister gets kidnapped to be sold into the human slave trade in the vampire city. So she decides she's going to go to this city to try and save her sister and figure out what she can possibly do. Enter our MMC Rune, who is the lord of this vampire city, and he's powerful, he's cruel, he's like 1,000,000 years old, he's absolutely ruthless, and interestingly enough, he's kind of been like watching Scarlet since she was a child. Obviously, she's unaware of that, and he has just decided at the beginning of our story, I'm gonna leave her alone, like, this isn't good, this isn't healthy, like, I'm letting her go. Until she moves to his city and then walks into the nightclub that he owns with a job. Like, she was literally hired to work there. So obviously all of that goes out the window. The story just takes off from there. Let me tell you, I rated this 4 stars. It was definitely outside of my comfort zone. I tend to like not really be an like, I like dark gothic books or like dark atmosphere books. I don't really love dark romance. However, this story was gripping. The found family was beautiful. The writing is very, very good. Super bingeable. So I still would say, like, check this out. Just check your trigger warnings, but great story overall. Still need to read book 2 because obviously it ended on like an insane cliffhanger. After that, I picked up A Monsoon Rising by Thea Guanzon, which is book 2 after the Hurricane Wars, and I ate this up. I love the Hurricane Wars, but I actually think I might like A Monsoon Rising a little bit more. The Hurricane Wars was very plot focused, very political. Some people say that the world building is confusing and overwhelming. I can see where they're coming from. I tend to like that in books, so I liked it. But this book, book 2, definitely was focused on like the romance and the relationship aspect. So if you felt like that was lacking in book 1, trust me, it makes up for it in this one. If you don't know, the Hurricane Wars is true enemies to lovers, like actual, like legitimate mortal enemies. And our FMC is one of the last light wielders in this world because the MMC's father literally eradicated all of them in his quest to destroy the light weavers and then also to like take over as much land as possible in this world. There are forced political alliances, hidden identities, so much tension, great court politics. Like, this book is truly fascinating. There is something going on in every page. It's very much like, will they, won't they, what's going on, who's going to like outsmart who. Highly recommend this. And yes, this did start as a Star Wars fanfic, and I absolutely love that. After that, I read one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I have been so insufferable about this book on the internet, I'm not even apologizing, and that is Oathbound by Tracy Dion, which is book 3 in the Legendborn cycle. This is my favorite YA series of all time, and it's truly just one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. Like, this series is absolutely incredible. As I said, I've been very obnoxious about this book and the series online. So if you want like a full in-depth spoiler-free synopsis of the series and Oathbound in particular, I even dedicated an entire YouTube video to that. So you can go watch that on my page, or you can definitely check out like the 80 TikTok videos that I made. Anywho, just to give like a quick synopsis, if you don't know, this book is incredible because it has 3 different magic systems. Yes, you heard that right. Most fantasy books have 1. This one has 3. The first one is based in Arthurian legend. Yes, King Arthur and the Round Table and his descendants. So like, that's already super interesting. The second magic system is called Rootcraft in this book. And what that is it is magic that Black people are able to use and channel by communing with their ancestors on a generational plane. Like, that is so interesting to me, and there's so much history and really interesting detail that goes into that. And then if those 2 were not enough, there's also a whole like demon world in this book and their magic system that we get a lot more of in Oathbound than the first 2 books. So like, it's incredible. Tracy Dion is a genius. I can't believe that she was able to come up with all of this. It's honestly incredible. These books are fantastic. The characters are stunning. Brie is one of my favorite FMCs of all time. I could yap about this literally for hours, so like I'll stop before I just make an entire video talking about this again, as I said, but if you want more information, go look at my video. Following Oathbound, I really like feel truly blessed by the book gods this month. I don't know what I did to deserve this, because I was lucky enough to receive an early physical arc of Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This is another one. If you know me, if you follow me, you know that Phantasma by Kaylee Smith is one of my favorite books of all time. Blackwell is my favorite book boyfriend. Like, I'm so feral obsessed unwell over Phantasma, and all I'm saying is Enchantra did not disappoint. When I got this package, I was screaming, running around my apartment, calling like my mom, like my friends, and anyone who would listen to me, and they were probably just like, what is happening? This is so crazy. Anyway, Enchantra did not disappoint. Another one of my most anticipated releases of 2025, and I was absolutely blown away. Kaylee Smith could literally write me like a chore list. I say this all the time, and I would happily read it. This new book, Enchantra, follows our FMC Genevieve, who finds herself participating in a very deadly game in an Italian palace run by one of the devils in this world and watched by all of the citizens of hell. Our MMC, named Rowan, is a heavily tattooed and heavily pierced wraith. Yes, you heard that right. Who is just like moody, he's rude. I'm so down bad for him. What can I say? Like, Blackwell, you have some competition. I don't know. Anyway, I'm obsessed with this entire world. Like, just every single thing about it. It's so magical to me. I really love like darker books like this. I love the kind of play on like devils and demons and hell. I think it's super fascinating. And Kaylee Smith's writing is almost like whimsical in a way where it kind of feels like you're reading like a gothic rom-com in the best way possible, because it's like these really like dark things, but written in a very like witty and funny way. It's just absolutely exceptional, like infinite stars. And because I was just so giddy from Enchantra and was like, oh, I'm in such a good mood, I decided, you know what, Mackenzie, why don't you break your own heart? Like, why don't you make yourself cry a lot? And so that's what I did. I picked up Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. Also, if you can hear the drilling, I'm sorry. It's been going on for a week outside, literally at all hours of the day, until like literally from like the morning till night. And so if you hear it, I'm sorry. There's just nothing I can do unless I never post a video again. So anyway, okay. My God, was this book incredible. Like, I have an entire video up on my TikTok of me hysterically crying, like having a full-blown emotional breakdown reading the end of this book, because I started crying at page 30. I didn't finish crying until the book was done. Like, it really broke me in a way that I don't think many books have. This story follows a pair of soulmates who are fated to reincarnate and unalive each other in every single life for thousands of years. So we witness this like tragic love story throughout different periods of history. It was beautiful. It was so creative. Like, I absolutely adored this. And I also love books where you get like a little bit of nod to history as well. It's very clear that the author is passionate about culture, history, like things throughout time. It was really beautiful, and the writing style matched it very well. This story is of love, loss, soulmates, fate, reincarnation, and just like the power of love and emotion in general and what it can overcome. I absolutely adored this. It's definitely character driven. So if you are not a character driven person, you probably won't love this. I am. Like, I loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is very much for those types of people. So like, for me, 10 out of 10. If you love Addie LaRue, highly recommend. Okay, after that, I was lucky enough to receive an arc of Shadows of Ruin, which is book 2 in the Broken Prophecy series by Anna Applegate and Helen D'Amico. And you guys, this is what I want when I say I want a romantic book. Like, book 1, Blooms of Darkness, was great. I really had a good time. But this book 2, exceptional. Like, I love when book 2 in a romantic series is even better than book 1, because to me it just shows like the authors know what they're doing. This was so good. Like, shattered every expectation I had for it. This series is advertised as ACOTAR meets The Bachelorette, and my God, does it deliver. And I think it's even cooler than that. Like, there is marriage trials in here. There is so much. Like, it is one of the most unique and fun romantic series that I've read in so long, but it also like has heavy topics in it as well, and it's balanced very well. As I said, there are magic trials, there's fae, there's a moody shadow daddy, amazing found family, hidden identities, multiple prophecies, and so much more. And it is as good as it sounds. It's actually better than it sounds. I seriously feel like I could talk about this book forever. And as I said, because I really was feeling just blessed this month, I got another arc of a book that like I can't wait for you guys all to read. I had an arc of The Third Ring by A. Horton, and this was a dystopian book. And when I tell you dystopian is back, like I needed this book like I needed air. This felt like a I keep saying air now. It felt like a breath of fresh air in the fantasy genre, like much needed. And my God, this was phenomenal. As I said, this is a dystopian book with forced bonds, mental connections, reluctant teammates to lovers. It's an oppressive society with very intense, like religious issues and like class system issues. It is just so good. The plot twists and the betrayals and the reveals at the end. I screamed at my Kindle because I could not believe. I was like, there's absolutely no way that this is how this ends. This is going to end up being one of like the coolest series that is released this year. So absolutely add it to your TBR if you haven't. It's just so unique and so good. It's in an oppressive society that is basically ruled by strict class systems and a very strict like religious system with the gods. And our FMC is a poor girl who gets paired with a very rich and notable boy to compete in these renowned trials that they have. And the twist is that the trials pair you with who is supposed to be your equal. So obviously, this is a little bit of like, causes a bit of a stir in the society. And their relationship is fascinating. And the ending is just absolutely mind blowing. Like, I need book two. Like, I need to breathe. And it's honestly just so fucking good. Like, so good. Next up, I have a unique, underhyped, dark gothic fantasy romance with a hollowed FMC, a masked MMC, and one of the most delightfully delicious slow burns that I have literally ever read. Like, this is in my top 4 slow burns now, and that's Blood So Deadly Divine by J.M. Grosvalet. Also, I'm sad. I am traveling, so I do not have all of my physical books. I like literally wish I could travel with my book collection when I go anywhere, but okay, I digress. Book was fantastic. The writing, stunning. It is full of religious commentary, court politics, Irish culture, so much tension. Oh my God. And some of the like I keep saying the craziest plot twists and reveals, but really like I pay attention when I read. I try really hard to like figure out where things going. This is another one where I just couldn't believe the end. If you do have similar book taste to me, especially like if you're into the same type of gothic books that I like to read, if you know me as a reader, like please pick this up. It is like criminally underhyped. Also, this is just kind of like a tidbit that I think is really amazing. The author worked with an Irish language specialist to include pieces of the Irish language throughout the story and include the translation in the back of the book. And I feel like that just is a testament to the level of like detail, care, and passion that are infused in this book. Like I've never really heard, like I know that some authors do that, but it's definitely not common. And I think it just shows like the level of thoughtfulness involved in this story. And also I love this story because it's a story of an FMC like taking her autonomy back and really just coming into her power. I don't want to go too much into detail because like things would get given away very quickly with the plot, but it's just such like it's a powerful story. It's an absolutely beautiful, inspiring tale that I just fell in love with the FMC in the story because I literally have no sense of self-preservation, and I think I just enjoy tormenting myself at this point. Like I don't know what else to say. I decided to read The Lies of Lena and then book 2, The Sins of Silas by Kylie Snow. So many of my mutuals are obsessed with this series, so I was like, you know what? They're all like freaking out about it. Let me read it. This is one of my favorite series of all time. I have been fully crashing out on TikTok specifically about this series because I am just so blown away. I am beyond impressed. This is absolutely one of my favorite series I've ever read in my entire life. Like the tension, the slow burn, it's torture. Reading it was torture. It's literally like an Infinite Stars book to me. And I need book 3 more than I've ever needed anything in my entire life. Like, just to give you guys a quick idea of the plot, book 1, it's separated into 2 parts. Part 1 is when the 2 main characters are like 16, 17 years old, and it's a story of them falling in love. And it's really beautiful. It's really pure. It does read a little bit more YA. And then part 2 jumps to like 5 years later when they're in their early 20s. And everything has taken a turn for like the terrible. It's a much darker world. It's grittier. The stakes are higher. It's truly like tragic because part 1 ends on a very tragic note. And then part 2, like it broke me a little bit. And then reading the continuation in The Sins of Silas, that's tension. That's yearning. If you want a man who's yearning and pining to the point of like, I can't even talk about it. And then the ending of this was criminal. I was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Like, beside I can't think about it. Like, there are certain things that happen in my head. I'm like, no, that's not real. That didn't happen. Like, it's all going to be fixed in book 3. I don't think it is. But anyway, if you are like me and you love being emotionally tortured by your romantasy books, you have to read this. I will never stop recommending it. It's hands down going to be one of my favorite books, both series I've ever read in my entire life. So reading The Lies of Lena and The Sins of Silas put me into a legitimate reading slump. Like, it's honestly been a really long time since I've been in one, but I kept trying to start things and just couldn't, and I would just like stare at the wall. I had no desire to read anything because I was like, nothing will compare. Like, I don't know what to do. So what I decided to do was pick up Hardly Strangers by A.C. Robinson, and this was absolutely perfect. This was a short little contemporary romance set in LA. It's like a rock star romance. I breezed through it in one sitting yesterday, which was Sunday, and I feel so much better now. This is actually a company called 831 Stories. I love their books. They sent me another one last month that I was obsessed with. They're these cute little contemporary romances, but their writing is really good. And so, like, it's gripping, but it's really perfect for someone like me who I almost strictly read like fantasy books. And clearly, based on this wrap up, they can be very heavy and emotionally taxing. So, like, when you just need to breathe for a minute, this is absolutely perfect. I'm obsessed with it. 831 Stories. It's a romance based company. I'm obsessed with just the whole idea of it. So definitely check them out and their books if you haven't. If you are still here listening to me rambling, I truly am so grateful. I promise I will try and get back to YouTubing a little bit more. But regardless, I hope that you guys had a fantastic reading month. If you guys have read these books, let me know in the comments so that we can talk about them. I tried to do this super high level, more of like a rapid fire style so that I wouldn't be giving any spoilers, but I would love to yap about these books. And also, if you guys are interested in different types of content, specifically what type of long form content you would like from me, please leave those comments as well, because I would love to be providing the content you guys actually want to see. I hope everyone has a fantastic week and happy April. That's so crazy.